So I'm here in December the 22nd, Manchester Arena, Frampton against Josh Warrington. What a way to end the year for Warrington, just to be part of a fight against the Jackal after such an amazing year, after becoming the first ever world champion in Leeds ever. I mean, the first ever in your city. Just to participate in a fight with the Jackal at the end of the year, not so far away from home, where he's going to be definitely going to be able to drag up a lot of his Leeds faithful over there, is an amazing result in itself. But, I mean, he's got a chance here. He could win. And what a crazy year he'd have if he managed to do that. I mean, does he leapfrog into the pound-for-pound ratings if he does that? Who knows? But an awesome prospect ahead of him. I actually didn't think Frampton looked that great in his last fight against Luke Jackson. I thought he looked a little bit better against Nonito Donaire. But judged on the punching power and the skill differential, I probably still just have to make Frampton a favourite. Now, of course, I did the same thing with Lee Selby against Josh Warrington. I've seen fight live a few times, and I was wrong. I thought Warrington would at least give him a decent fight, but I certainly did not expect Warrington to outbox the boxer, which he did, and was so tremendous in doing so. I first saw Warrington fight live in 2014 against Rendell Munro, where he scored his second ever stoppage. Of course, we all know he doesn't punch very hard. But I remember noting the first time I saw him that he's got a degree of polish which is uncommon with domestic level British fighters. He keeps his hands nice and high, neat footwork, rattles off different punches. He's not that predictable in his line of attack. No, he's not particularly fast or powerful, but technique, you see, skill is what matters the most. Probably, after courage in boxing and toughness, the skill is what really is important. And Warrington has a lot of it, and we learned in his last fight he has more than he's given credit for. His understanding of the distance, the way he can change it. He does take back steps as well. He doesn't just always go forward. He's a tricky little operator at times. And with him being younger, with him being physically bigger, and the timing is just right, I feel here, as good as it can be at least for Camp Warrington. I thought they were perhaps going to do a victory lap, so to speak, in Leeds after the win against Selby, and then maybe consider fighting Frampton in early 2019, but he's going to be going, it looks like, straight for the Frampton fight in Manchester at the end of this year. 3 days, before Christmas. So an interesting setup. That'd be a great Christmas dinner if he wins. I ultimately have to go with Frampton. Looking at it, he's still got a lot of juice left in the tank. He has he's more creative. He is a more inherently skilled fighter, and he has that pop as well. But he is a bit hittable. He does sometimes fade down the stretch. He did a little bit against Santa Cruz in the first fight, which he won, and also a little bit in the rematch, which he lost. So, and of course, Warrington, one of his biggest weapons is work rate, as well as his nice tight defence and tricky footwork. So it's an interesting fight. Warrington has certainly made a bigger believer out of people than he thought. When I just think of the way he registered his first stoppage win against that Samir Munami, I forget how to pronounce his surname, pardon me. But at that point, I think he'd only won the English level title. And each time people were doubting him because he didn't look special. Now he's got this far, now he's fighting Frampton, and a lot more people are considering him to have a real chance to maybe beat him. He's come a long way. It's a great fight. I expect it to go the 12. I don't see a stoppage. Warrington seems to be pretty tough, and as I say, he's got a good defence. And Frampton is, well, because of Warrington not being a big puncher, it's hard to see him stopping Frampton as well. If Warrington is to win, it would be through pressing an advantage in the later rounds, being clever again. But I don't want to doubt him. I did it against Selby, but I have to go with the natural talent differential and go with Frampton. But I might be secretly cheering Warrington on. A great fight. It's not officially confirmed yet, but a lot of people have already said it's basically on. So what an awesome fight to add to what's already been a great year for boxing 2018. I favour the Frampton, something like a close unanimous decision, but he's not going to have it easy, and you never know.